Hey guys, a bit of a different video here. So I just pulled this computer case from the side of the road in my area. It's fairly close by, and it looks pretty decent. It's in a completely acrylic case, completely clear. It has been raining though, so a lot of these components are quite wet. Here's the side panel here. I've got that sitting on a towel because it is very wet. I've done this a few times, and somehow every time I've done this, it's actually been wet or raining previously. So I've had to wait and dry the components out, and not all of them have been working, but this one, the side panel was sitting on top of it, not secured or anything, it was just sitting on top. I haven't yet had a good look at all these components, so I'm going to go through them. So this looks like, if it can focus, that's a 550 watt, what is it? It's a Cooler Master power supply. That's pretty decent. Most of the cables are unsleeved. It looks like it's got an 8-pin for the CPU power. You know, who knows if any of this actually works. We have to, you know, get lucky. We'll definitely have to dry these things out before I even think about powering them on. It does have a graphics card and a sound card with DVI and VGA. Decent. 4 USB ports on the motherboard, 2 Ethernet. That's alright. I'm very interested about this case. Like, is this... Did the guy that's chucking this out, did he build this case, or is this bought from the market? I haven't seen anything like this. It's obviously pretty old. All these components are probably pretty old, but some of them are still worth it. It's got a pretty decent cooler on there, so I assume it's probably an unlocked CPU, I'm hoping. Probably like an old Q6600 quad-core. They're still useful today, you know, they run Windows 7 just fine. There's actually a hard drive in here, right here, and if you look closely, that uses SATA right there. So SATA is, you know, still the modern, it's still used today. So I'm going to take all these components out piece by piece and dry them up and see if they have any model numbers on them and do some research. So I just took the memory out of the motherboard and it doesn't look too bad. It's Patriot memory. It's got some heat sinks on it. It's DDR2, obviously, as you can see. It's 4 gigabytes total, 2 gig each, so that's not bad. If it works, it's still useful. So this is the sound card that I just pulled from it. It's a PCI sound card. Those are the ports on it. Still usable today. Most motherboards still have PCI. So this is the graphics card we found in it. Once again, it's got VGA, VGA, DVI. This is probably HDMI if you use an adapter. It's S-Video right now. It's got a heatsink on it. Looking at the label, it is a EN8500 GT Silent Edition. It's quite wet on the back. I'll definitely need to dry that. And there's water in the heatsink and everything. But you know, components can get wet, and sometimes you can still use them. Sometimes they still work even after being wet, as long as you dry them out before even thinking of powering them up. So yeah, not bad. This is a very unusual case. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's got some air intakes on the front and the back and the top as well. You know, you can see the front. It's got a front panel USB and everything. Few 5¼ inch bay slots, as well as some 2.5 inch for floppy disk drives or whatever you want. I think right now it's got, what is that? That's a fan controller. It looks like a gigabyte fan controller there. So yeah, it's got the back side panel on. It's got these pins, these flathead pins that I'll have to unscrew to access the hard drive. So I'm going to do that now. So I undid all the flathead pins, screw things in the either corner. There were 4 of them, and it seems like the motherboard is directly connected to the back panel. So if I want to take that out, I'm going to have to maybe take the motherboard out first. I'm very interested to see what this hard drive is like. It's just here, the black one here. There's screws in that side, so I have to take this side panel off to access them. Alright, so we finally got the motherboard out. There were quite a few screws. Have a look at this heatsink. This thing is gigantic. If you look at it from this angle, it's got 4 big heat pipes, if that's in focus. It's a bit dusty, but that's okay. Computer components get dusty, that's natural. See, it's kind of a floating heatsink connected by 4 heat pipes with a decent sized fan on the front. It's got this is the fan controller. It looks like it was only the CPU fan that was connected to it. So looking at the motherboard, it's an Asus motherboard. They made a lot of these for the LGA 775 socket. That's the socket that I'm assuming it is. It's got two 16x PCI Express slots. Model numbers here if you want to look that up. P5N32E SLI Plus. So I'm assuming this thing supports SLI, which is quite good. 6 SATA ports, probably SATA 2, I would imagine, which is the slower variant. Obviously there's SATA 3 now. And there's also a few PCI slots as well as a PCI Express 1X slot there. Looking at the rear I/O, pretty standard, 2 Ethernet, 4 USB, PS2 ports, and what, Thunderbolt maybe? I don't know. Nothing too interesting on the back there, but what CPU could this be? I'm not too convinced that this power supply is gonna work. It's quite wet there. Yes. Ooh. A few dead spiders in there as well. Turns out one of them wasn't dead actually. So I've pulled the hard drive out of it. It is a SATA hard drive, which is good. It's a 320 gigabyte Max Tor Diamond Max 21 hard drive. Look at that. It's actually in pretty good condition. It's not wet or anything. So this could work. It's probably been wiped though, I would imagine. Also, I don't know if you can see that, but it says 3.5 series 7200.10, so I assume it's a 7200 RPM drive, so it might still hold up. Probably not worth mentioning, but there was also a gigabyte fan controller in here, which you can just turn the knob to change the RPM of the fans. Just got the CPU cooler off. It was a simple 4 screws on the bottom, through a back plate, fairly standard mounting mechanism, fairly simple, but it looks like quite a good cooler. It's got 4 thick heat pipes, a whole lot of thermal paste. It's also all over the CPU socket, so I'll have to clean that up before I can read it. And yeah, maybe we should find out what this CPU actually is. So after spending a while cleaning off the thermal paste, I could just barely read the model number of the CPU. Now, it's nothing special. It's only a Core 2 Duo E6750, I believe, 2.66 gigahertz. It's a little later now, and I've tested the memory and the hard drive, and they both work. The hard drive is a 320 gigabyte hard drive. Haven't tested the speed, but I assume it's okay and still usable. It is SATA, so that's good. The memory works. I put it in the old DDR2 system, and it registers. It all works. It's only 600 megahertz with speed, but speed's not too much of a concern. I haven't tested the graphics card or the sound card yet. The sound card is completely dry. I would assume that works. You'd probably need to find drivers for it, which could be a bit tricky. The graphics card, I haven't tested either. The heatsink was full of water. The back of the PCB also had a bit of water, but even if it does work, it's a pretty old GPU, and well, certainly won't be able to play Stranded Deep or Prison Architect, probably. But yeah, overall, not a bad find. I've made something out of nothing. The memory works in the hard drive, which I'm definitely going to use. There's also this power supply here. It's covered in water. It has water through the fan inside the actual power supply, so I'm not going to bother turning that on. That could be dangerous. There's also an optical drive in the front. It's only an IDE. What is it? It's an ASUS IDE optical drive. Doesn't interest me too much. What does interest me is this case. This case is pretty fantastic. I might try and clean it up, see if it's worth still using, still building in. Yeah, not bad. So as well as the components I mentioned, there was also the fan controller. There's also a USB 2. I suppose it's a USB expansion card that you plug into the motherboard, as well as there's probably an 80mm fan there and an 80mm fan there, and one on the front as well. So 3 80mm Cooler Master fans, which I would assume work. But yeah. So this has been a bit of a different video. I haven't done any real-life videos filmed with an actual camera on my channel before, so this will be a first. Don't expect me to do these too often. If I find another PC like this on the side of the road, yeah, I might take it and look at it. Maybe do a video on it. We've salvaged a few things from it. It was definitely worth my time. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.